Couch Conversations with yours truly. And today I'm really excited about our topic. Our topic today is barbershop talk. Ladies, today we are going to get the scoop. We are going to get the scoop on what men talk about in the barbershop. We know what we talk about when we go to get our hair done, but now we're gonna listen to the flip side. I know we've been out for like 2 weeks. We had Easter, and then last week my allergies had me in here sounding like Lurch. So today we are going to go ahead and dive right in. I have a special guest with me today. I'm very, very excited to sit down and have this conversation with him. Not only is he very good at what he does, but he's also someone that is going to be able to give an opinion from a married standpoint. And so, ladies, I know if you listen to me consistently, then you know how big I am about getting relationship advice, or having relationship conversation with either people who, one, have never been in a relationship, or two, are in a relationship and it's bad, or three, are not married or have never been married before. So we're gonna actually hear from, I think, our first man on the show that's ever been married. So, guys, I have Merk with me. I have Merk with me today. Merk, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really, really good. Thank you so much for asking. My pleasure. It was all the voice's idea. So this young man behind the camera, we don't reveal his name.
Right.
He is the voice.
Okay.
He's just that quiet storm behind the camera that talk trash and start shit.
He gonna say my name.
He gonna mess up and say it.
I know he does.
All he gonna do is go back and beep it out, bleep it out. Somebody said his name before when he was editing it. Bleep. As if it was a cuss word. Had me cracking up. So, you cut hair.
Yes, I do.
How long have you been doing that?
Oh my God. Started in '95.
Oh yeah, that's a while.
And it's just something that I started doing as a hobby, just to kind of pass the time in high school, and never really thought that it would turn into over 20 years behind the chair. So here we are.
That's awesome. Do you do anything else besides cut hair, or is that your profession, like what you do?
No, cut hair is my profession.
Awesome.
A little bit of, I'm a man, so, I dabble in a little bit of everything, Man has been married 17 years, so, you have to kind of be handy around the house, with your hands, so yes.
Oh, yes.
So, but other than that, as a profession, I'm support.
That is awesome. I'm really big on, whatever you do for a living, making sure that it's something that you like doing. I'm working on working my way back to that, because my job is about to kill me.
Well, I can say this, for some years as a barber, the love kind of fades and it comes back.
Right.
I've been told by a lot of older guys that, you always have to find something to do that you love.
Right.
And finding something that you do, or finding something that you love to do, I kind of learned the reason why they told me that. No matter what it is you do, you get tired of it.
Right.
So you have to love it to stick with it, and it not become, a chore.
Right. That's a relationship.
Now we talking about something else. We talking about something else.
But seriously, you just described a relationship.
Well, that is true. But if it's something that you love, you're gonna do it. Let's just say all your life. So that's a relationship as well. Like you say, I agree with you.
Yeah.
So regardless of how you look at it, whether it's a relationship with your partner,
right,
or a relationship, as a profession,
right,
it's the same.
Right. Yeah, I like that. I'm steal that analogy. I'll cash app you for it, so you won't have to copyright it. But so you've been doing this since the early '90s. A passion that you developed at a young age. What made you decide, um, or what point in your life were you at when you decided as a man, I'm going to sit down and get serious about this and make this my career?
I'll tell you, we would probably have to start another podcast on that. But just to get straight to it, I mean, I was a young man. I was raised by a single mother, and it was time to get out of the house. Right. So I had to figure out something to do. And I've always been curious. So, I just started cutting hair, just something to do, something to pass the time away. And I just figured, hey, let me just not go to college right now. Let me just go to barber school. This will be a good way, that I can, just get out of the house. Something I can do, for fast money right now. Right. And that's just how it happened. And I never, like I said earlier, I never intended on, making myself, become a full-time barber. It was just something to do, and I just stuck with it. Right.
I love it. So we're going to jump right on in.
Let's get in.
You ready?
Let's get in.
What are some of the things that men commonly talk about when they come and sit in your chair or in your room?
Okay. To any fellas that's out here watching this podcast, hey, I know we all have different opinions about, what we talk about, what we feel, what we want. These are just my opinions, as she spoke about earlier.
Right.
I just think that, when it comes to relationship.
Disclaimer, but we not fit to break into man codes.
No. We're not going to break into man codes. Not at all. I just believe that, it depends on what the man is feeling and what he's going through at the time. So,
they didn't let you get started. She didn't let you get started.
He about to start lying on their behalf.
No. I'm not lying for nobody. This is just me. It's just, at different times, all men go through different things in their relationships. And a lot of times, we're trying to figure out, who we are as men, to be able to, bring our better selves to the table. So a lot of times, I think if I may say so, a lot of guys will come in and basically just, talk about, let's just say understanding. We just, we're looking for, understanding and support. Not monetary support, but, it's just, I need you to just support me. Support my decisions and just, stand by me.
Okay. That was a very safe answer.
No.
It was true.
You know what? It's the truth.
Right, it's true.
Like the boy said, hey, I'm not breaking any man codes. I'm just telling you the truth.
Okay, so let me ask a more specific question. See if that'll get us ladies the answers to the questions that we inquire about. What are some things as it pertains to relationships that you feel may be something common that men either complain about or need support on? Like what are some things? Like, is it my woman don't like to clean, my woman don't like to cook, we arguing all the time? Like, what are some common topics as it pertains to relationships?
I mean, like you said, that's just a relationship. I mean, that's a relationship in itself. Even in your job, there are going to be some things on your job, at your job, some people on your job that you're not really going to always get along with. And in relationships, as I just feel like there's always going to be something that a man and a woman, are basically going to not always see eye to eye.
Right, for sure.
So, like I said earlier, it just depends on, what I'm saying, the people and what they got going on in their relationship and what they're dealing with.
You know, it's really majority of times not even a action per se that men talk about. It be like the frustration behind the relationship. Like it's not like why won't she understand that I'm gonna have our best interests at heart?
Exactly.
Why she fight it? So it's not necessarily. Yeah, that's surface level when we talk about she don't cook. We'll counsel that. That'll be like, if a dude coming there saying, "Hey man, she don't cook," we be like, "Hey, well, if you want a woman that do that, you need to go on by, you know what you need to do."
Exactly, but at the same time, as a man, we're not gonna look at every flaw that you have because we are flawed as well.
Right,
right. So, we can't sit here and point the finger at, our woman or somebody that we're interested in dating and say that, hey, she doesn't do X, Y, Z because we're not the perfect man.
And Merk is one of them barbers who gonna first ask you like, what you do? Like, what you do? How you ain't perfect, so you can't. He gonna check you on that. So that's why I appreciate about that. So
and I also and I just think that in knowing that we actually have to work on ourselves as well. But if you're steady having these type of problems, with this woman or females, you're having these problems with a man, then I just think that that's something that you guys need to talk about. And if it doesn't fit, then hey, why continue to to fight? Why continue to to argue over it?
Right.
Yeah, but the most common thing you hear is why do we bump heads? Is like I don't understand why we bumping heads like we bump heads. You know what I mean?
But I believe that we bump heads a lot of times. I mean,
I just realized
we bump heads a lot of times because
ain't no cussing on this show.
My man for the protection. I think we bump heads a lot of times, man, because we don't really take the time to understand each other.
But going back to what Merk was just saying, I'm really big on communication and understanding. And I would have to agree with you. I'm not, like you were saying earlier, I'm not a relationship expert either. I am pretty good at what I do, but I would say no matter what it is that a man or a female, but for the sake of the topic, what a man would be unhappy about or having issues within the relationship, I think it all boils down to communication, effective communication.
I agree with that.
And that's on the speaking and the receiving end. I know, speaking from a woman's standpoint, a lot of women that I come in contact with, they are very defensive. So anytime you try to say, well, this is starting to make me feel this way, or this, blah, 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 then the woman is always, quick to jump on well, I don't know what else you want me to do. I do this, I do this, I do this, I do, and they're so defensive and not even listening to what he's trying to say.
Well, I mean, a lot of times you have to look at it like, maybe the woman is just, like you say, she's trying to get her point across. And she's not paying attention to, to what the man is saying or what he's trying to do. But I think that we are in a society nowadays where, in most relationships these days, we're fighting on the leader. Who's going to lead the relationship? Who's actually going to be the head of the relationship?
You're absolutely right. There are some women who want to be recognized as the leader and the head of the household, and it has nothing to do with who makes the most money.
Well, like you said, that goes back to what I'm saying, like a biblical standpoint. But I just think that if if you agree with how this man makes you feel, if you love this man, and like you said, you go back to communication, you guys can get to a point to where you can understand each other and accept him being the leader, then allow him to lead and show you first,
right,
that he is, the leader, that you want to follow.
Right. And I think that's an area that a lot of women mess up in. So, and I communicate this with women all the time, because women will complain and say, well, he wants me to act like a wife, or he wants me to blah, 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 and I'm just a girlfriend, or I don't have a title. Well, sis, you want him to show that he is able to protect, to provide, to lead. So why is it why is it that you want him to show you, or that he's what you're looking for, but when he wants to see what he's looking for in you, is a problem? That's what I don't understand about women.
Well, dating is when two people are dating, they're trying to convince each other that they are the right person for one another. So if, like you said, if he's looking for you to present yourself as a wife,
mm-hmm.
he needs to see that you can do that before he actually makes you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you 1,000%.
Because as a man, if a man really wants a woman, then she has no question whether he wants to be with her or not. So he's going to show her that he can be that husband.
Right.
That he wants to be that husband.
Right.
So if this man has not shown you in any kind of way that, he is not the leader for you, then, you will know.
Right. Absolutely.
How many of your clients do you think you saved their relationship? That's question number one.
You've been doing this for 20 years.
20 years, yeah. That's
a tough question.
A lot.
Listen, I will say about 90%. I will say about 90%, Chris.
Okay.
I'm not the type that when a guy comes in and gets to complaining or talking about, his girlfriend, his wife, I'm not going to tell you that, hey, man, man, forget that, man, forget him. You know what I'm saying? Leave her alone. I'm always going to advocate, for the relationship. Off top. Now, when you guys, continue to work it out, and things look bleak, I'm still not going to tell you, I think that you should end it. I will tell you, hey, that this is your decision.
Right.
And I've mentioned to my clients many times that, let's just say, for instance, my wife and I, we were on some rocky times, in the years of our relationship and our marriage. And I've always said to myself, regardless if my ship was to sink, I'm a fan of love. I believe in it. I would never sit and tell anyone, I don't think that you should get married. I would never tell anyone that I think that, marriage and love is dead. So I'm just an advocate for it. So I'm not gonna tell anybody, man or woman, that I think that they should end their relationship.
All right, so question number 2. Does your clients confide in you? If so, what advice would you give a man leaving his wife for his side chick?
If this is what you want to do, then hey, I'm happy for you. But you have to be happy. And you have to know that if this is a choice that you're going to make, before you decide to make this choice, just understand that you weigh the options on both sides. And if it fits, if it fits for you, if it makes you happy, then hey, so be it.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a good answer. So that makes me happy.